Consistently eating healthy can be one of the hardest things to do. I know that personally. But we will talk to a nutritional biochemist that's coming in studio to help us get rid of the habit of settling for junk food. It's very interesting stuff headed your way. You're watching Good Morning San Diego on this Sunday.
All right, well, everyone wants to eat better. Maybe you don't think you do, but your body tells you, you gotta eat better. In fact, because of this story, I didn't bring in donuts today. I'm not joking. All right, but once you get hungry, it is so tough. You give in to those not so healthy cravings. So here to give us some tips on how to solve that problem is Dr. Shawn Talbott. Good morning, and thank you for not only joining us, but bringing in some of these remedies, because it's so true. Especially when you get hungry, you go for what's easy, what's convenient, but then, man, do you pay for it later.
You sure do. And, you know, one of the reasons that those cravings come is because of what's happening in your gut. Your gut bacteria are sending signals to the brain telling you what you're hungry for. It's called the gut-brain axis. And if we can change the bacteria, we can change the cravings.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that, because I'm thinking as you're talking, going, why is my gut saying these things? Because I know it's not going to feel good later, so you know, how does that happen?
Yeah, and then people will say, well, just exercise your willpower. Don't listen to those signals. And you can't, because those signals keep coming and keep coming. So what we've done some research on is to say, if we can change the bacteria to the right kind of bacteria, you won't get those junk food cravings anymore, or at least they'll be less.
Do you naturally have that bacteria in your stomach?
You naturally have them, but if you eat the right foods, you'll grow the bacteria that send the right signals that are associated with better cravings and better mood and better energy levels, and that's what everybody wants.
Well, because I've heard a lot of these cleanses. Does that really change the bacteria that's in your tummy that's causing this junk food craving?
Not so much. It really is this new science around what we call the microbiome, and I'm here in San Diego to give presentations about the microbiome at the Experimental Biology Conference.
Oh, okay, that's very interesting, because I wanted you to talk more about that, because it's also kind of a visual situation too.
Sure.
When you see the donut compared to the kale, I don't know.
That's
that donut is going to win 10 times out of 10. Or look at that, fried chicken.
And all those foods, when we eat them, the donuts and the fried chicken and the cupcakes and the processed foods, they'll grow a different kind of bacteria, and when they get hungry, they'll send a signal for that food. So if we can eat other foods, if we can eat fermented foods like yogurt, if we can eat kefir, if we can eat high fiber foods.
Okay, so let's go down the line here. So we've got to retrain the bacteria in our belly to talk more appropriately to our brain.
That's the perfect way to say it. We retrain them, right? Exactly. We retrain, we grow the right garden of bacteria so we get the right signals.
Okay, that's going to connect for me. I got to grow the right garden. How do we do that? What do we have here?
So the first thing is fermented foods. Yogurts, kefirs, sauerkraut, kimchi. Those will give you some of the bacteria that you want, but then you also need to feed them with the right kind of prebiotic fibers.
Okay, you say fermented. Can I include wine in that list?
Wine's good for the phytonutrients, things like resveratrol and flavonoids.
I'm trying.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying.
So those will actually protect the good bacteria once you grow them. But the best way to grow them, the number one thing you can do is eat more fiber.
Oh, okay. So apple, kale, the good stuff down there.
Berries, beans, oatmeal.
When you say more, once a day, once a week, I mean, what's the strategy here?
Almost, you have to eat it throughout the day. So the target that we want is around 30 to 35 grams of fiber every day.
Okay.
Most people eat less than 10.
What about taking a fiber pill?
So that's where some of these fiber supplements come in. When we can give the right fibers, that can fill that gap, because to get the right amount of fiber that's going to feed the good bacteria, we have to eat fiber all day long. And so it's great if you have some kale in your smoothie, or apples in your smoothie, or berries on your oatmeal, and some beans at dinner, but you still need to fill that gap in order to get enough. So that's why things like sun fiber, for example, is one of the ones I really like. It disappears when you put it into food or into a smoothie, so it doesn't give that thick, gooey consistency that a lot of fibers do.
Is there any kind of good time of the day? I mean, I know you're saying throughout the day, but should you start off with this right in the morning?
That's a great way to do it, because then it's done. You've got it into your body, then you're feeding those good bacteria, and the thing that's really cool about it is that something like sun fiber is going to help feed those good bacteria, so your appetites change, so you have better regularity. You can go to the bathroom when you need to, which is a good thing. But then there are other products like this Mentabiotics uses sun fiber as a way to increase the right bacteria that help with your mood and your anxiety levels and your stress levels. So all those signals, if you can get the right signals coming from this second brain in your gut to the first brain in your head, you're going to feel amazing.
It all works together. Your tummy is almost like your epicenter for for the rest of your body.
It really
So when
is.
it's feeling good, everything else is. Really quickly, we have to go, but I saw this matcha, and I see that everywhere.
Matcha is one of
that?
my favorite things to recommend now because it has the flavonoids, it has the antioxidants, but it's also really high in this amino acid called theanine. So theanine can help relax the brain directly. It can take that edge off the stress while you're having a lovely cup of green tea.
All right, so retrain, grow your garden of good, what was it in the tummy? Good
Microbiome.
Microbiomes in your tummy to cut off those junk food cravings.
That's right.
Okay, some good information this morning. Thank you so much.
My
I'm gonna
pleasure.
put it to you.